Good morning. It's Merritt with Apteros Trading. Today is November 5th, and this video is going to be about crude oil. Before we talk about what we think about today's market going into the pit session open, let's talk about what we said yesterday and how it played out. Pretty good stuff here, to put it mildly. Crude had a massive sell-off yesterday, right? So the high was, 83.40 almost, and the low was 78.30. That is a very, very large day. And guess what? Go back, listen to the video. Our main thesis was bearish. We did have a bull line in the sand here, but was mostly bearish. It's very clear about that in the video. And then the main target area that we had was down here into 78. So, giving it to you in a very, very good way there. Now, what about trading it, right? Well, if you wanted to be very aggressive, you can get involved up here. There was, especially on lower time frames, we started to see some order flow diverging from what price was doing up here. And that was even worse and worse in this area here. So there were ways to get involved there, just depending on how aggressive you were and what your time frame is and things like that. But clearly a momentum shift up here, rejecting the bear line in the sand. Let's say you didn't get involved there. Well, guess what? The all clear is when the shorter term, more minor, lesser bull zone breaks down. And here we get a retest here. That's a VWAP trade location. It's confluent with a kind of a stacked reference area. Fine. We get a chance to do that again right here. This is again into VWAP. And then here's where things really start to break down. And here is a picture perfect place to get involved. This was probably my favorite spot that I got involved in all day, was right in this area here, because we had a poor low on the profile. I mean, it's kind of like we were talking about yesterday. It's talking about, check out the good need for excess into the lows and targets lower and order flow, behind it. We got it again. So, once this thing breaks down, I mean, where's it going to go? Well, we've got this big target that we know that we're good at identifying with Nadro. It's going to finish the move. It's going to complete the move into the close, like we've seen Crude do 1,000 times over the past few years, right? So, beautiful read. Nadro just giving us everything we need here, all the way down to being able to execute on these ideas. Beautiful stuff. Overnight session. The target was meaningful. Got a, just a drift, bounce away from there, and then chop. So let me pause the video, and then we'll talk about today. All right, so first thing I'll say is that the opportunity set here today is much more limited, right? Now, do I know what's going to happen once the open happens? No, I don't. Did I know what was going to happen yesterday? No, I didn't. Okay, even though we called a huge outsized range days high and low, okay, it doesn't matter. You never know what's going to happen. All we're doing is using our methodology, our top-down approach, to give us an idea of what, for our framework, what the market is telling us it's up to, and whether or not there's implications for a large range day or not. So for me, and those of you who've been watching these videos for a while now, kind of understand this ebb and flow. Now I'm back to, major destination has kind of been hit, kind of a quiet overnight session. I don't have high expectations for large range like we saw yesterday into today. Now, high volatility tends to beget more high volatility, right? And vice versa. So it wouldn't surprise me if we saw some type of larger range today, but that's not my plan for today, is for there to be just, huge opportunity again. We have laws of market dynamics in the Nadro course that teach us when and where we can expect a higher quality narrative, more range expansion, and when not to. So anyways, What can we see for today? Well, I think this is, in order for this, shift, right? Crude oil, let's face it, has been trending up sharply since late August, right? It's currently early November. This is the first topping, pattern that we've seen, and pretty much the past 2 days have been the first kind of breaks from that. So, we could put in there's plenty more downside, okay? We've not run into the ultimate areas where I would start to turn very bullish, right? Not saying that's happened. I am saying we've made a big move. We've hit some pretty decent destinations. I wouldn't be surprised if we see it tone down a little bit here for a day or two. Anyways, what can we see? This 80-30s area is what I've got marked in terms of if we're going to continue an immediate downtrend and maybe see another big down day, that level's not going to be breached. And if it does, it's going to fail real quickly and we'll get back underneath it. We still have this, destination area down here. I don't think we quite tagged 78. I've got stacked reference here. Let me just double check that. Yeah, we didn't quite tag 78. So, this market may need to go hit that, right? May need to go wick that on these bigger time frames. Wouldn't surprise me at all. So if we get a reaction from the bear zone, a potential short trade from the bear zone, I wouldn't be surprised to see 78 on the table, right? So that's $2 or $2.40 on the table there for you if you can catch a turning point and put yourself some good risk reward on the table. It's there. The asymmetry's there. Below here, my goodness, it could be scary. It could be a bigger range than yesterday, right? So below 78 is the free fall point, let's put it. Wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of chop. You see this overnight range. I'm not going to highlight it, but we've been chopping. If we're just going to stay inside that, call it from this 79.90 to 79.20, that's not too exciting. But what's nice about this bear zone is that we could pop above this kind of overnight balance we're establishing, run some stops there, trap some longs, and that could fuel our short from there. What about if we get above 80.40? What do we think about that? Well, I'm not going to be quick to react above there, but if we do start to hold substantially above there and get pullbacks, then yeah, I'm going to be looking on the long side. I'll be looking long, and it allows for a fairly easy move. Again, here's these neutral references along the way, but again, it allows for 82.20 again. Some of the same levels that we've been using on multiple days here. So that's how I'm seeing crude today.